Hey, good morning, my friends. Nadine, good morning. Happy Thursday. Rob here for Southwest Florida Television. Once again, up at the north end of Vanderbilt Beach in North Naples, Florida. Pretty darn nice morning. 68 degrees, little breeze coming out of the northeast. Gonna get up to, somewhere between 83 and 85. Forecast keeps changing. Water temperature 78. The tide's still going out. It's about 7:15. Low tide's around 8. Not smelling any of that dirty old red tide this morning. So far, so good. I've been out on the beach now for, close to a half an hour. I was live on YouTube for my first look. Down by the water, the beach is pretty clean, pretty clear of dead fish. You can smell them every now and then. Seen some higher up on the beach. But all in all, it's a nice morning, considering what it's been like a week ago from today. Man, it was terrible, the smell of the red tide. Right now, that wind's kind of in our favor with that little bit of easterly flow, so that keeps the red tide kind of at bay. It's still out there. I don't know when it's going to be going away. Some of those aerial shots look pretty bad that have been popping up on social media. So far, so good. No coughing yet. No burning eyes. Did see one casualty down here on the beach from the red tide. A rather good size too. Horseshoe crab. I think it takes a lot to kill those horseshoe crabs. And those things are almost prehistoric. There's a good size one over here on the beach. Just walking down to give you a peek at it. And I was hoping it wasn't dead. I was hoping it was just one of the exoskeletons that got molted. You'll see these a lot on our beaches, and they're not dead. They're just the outer shell. They have their skeleton on the outside like a turtle, an exoskeleton, and they shed it. And that's what you'll see on the beach, but unfortunately, this is a dead horseshoe crab, and as you can see, it's a rather large one too. That's the head end of it over there. That looks like a pretty nasty weapon. What they use that tail for mainly is flipping themselves over. When they get flipped upside down, they'll use that tail to flip themselves back up. But it can put a hurting on you. They kind of bury themselves in the sand. You can see these sharp barbs all along here. You don't want to step on one of these guys, and that does have a nice point on it. Sadly, this one is no longer with us. There's your horseshoe crab lesson for the morning. Gonna walk down to the south. It's pretty calm out here in the water. I mean, you just see a few little ripples here coming over the sandbar. Thanks for the stars. Our sun is up. Sunrise was at 6:43 this morning. We did hang out on the Bluebill Avenue Bridge again, watching our first light. Beautiful first light this morning. Got a peek at the moon before it disappeared on us. There's the sun. Whoops. You don't want to see that hairy monster there. There's our sun. So far the only dead fish that I've seen really on the beach were up here. kind of mixed in with this freshly raked sand. They're doing a really good job, looks like, of getting them off the beach with the rake. You can see the rake was out here earlier this morning doing its thing. Like I said, I can smell the fish, and the fish are, this is really sad, there's tons of fish in the back bays, and our backwater's piling up in the canals, up against people's docks and seawalls. I mean, literally piles of them. It's really sad. All around Southwest Florida. Yeah, this red tide, it cracks me up. People commenting on Facebook, pointing the fingers at our politicians. Take those fingers and turn them around and point them at yourself. It's not our politicians that are creating red tide, it's us. Now, what are our politicians doing about it? A couple of them are trying to do something about it, but it's up to us to do something about it, not our politicians. Just slow down on the fertilizing. Come on. Simple, simple, simple. Simple solution. Quit dumping crap into our oceans. It's always easier to blame somebody else for the problem, isn't it? Man. A lot of people do that. I can think of a lot of people that are blaming others for problems right now, when they themselves are the big problem. You know, when does everybody say enough is enough? When do you say enough is enough? I don't know what tomorrow morning's going to bring. I don't know what my schedule tomorrow morning is. There's a pelican. I saw a couple pelicans flying by this morning so far. Hopefully they're not getting sick on those dirty old fish out there. But I'm supposed to go to Kauai Chobe tomorrow. I don't know. It's kind of a tentative plan. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I'm just going to go out there with a friend of mine. I haven't been out to Kauai Chobe for a while. Love to see my Sabina, the Bengal tiger, and Shambe, the lion. Love that place. If you've never been out to Kauai Chobe, out in the Golden Gates Estate area, you need to put it on your bucket list. You need to pay the place a visit. Unlike a zoo, it's nothing like a zoo. Much more hands-on, up-close animal encounters. Very, very educational. Although our Naples Zoo is very, very educational. The Kauai Chobe, it's just a different kind of experience if you like animals. Great place to have a party, too. Birthday party, a corporate event. Not too large of an event. The water's really shallow here now. I don't think we're going to see any dolphins coming in here this morning. I've not been staring at the ground here. That's why I fall in holes when I'm walking along. Did you catch that the other day? Did you catch my Tuesday morning walk when I went down into the hole, not paying attention to where I was walking? I thought it was kind of funny. It ticked me off, but I thought it was funny. But I've not been watching the ground here, looking closely for little dead fish or anything, but so far, I swear it seems really clean right along the water here. And the sand right in here is nice and hard between where they raked it and the water. Easy walking this morning. Dexter. It was actually good beach morning for Dexter. Still no smell of the red tide. Sometimes I can actually get like a, I don't know, like a tinny taste in my mouth before I even smell it sometimes. Now, it might affect you totally different. You might come out here and gag. You might smell it. Or you might be the same as me and not smell anything. You know, each person, it affects a little differently. Good morning. But as far as I'm concerned, so far so good this morning. Don't take that as meaning red tide is not here though. Like I said earlier, it's still lurking around. It's just not overpowering this morning. Well, I saw our friend Mike, Sleeveless Mike, Shark Tooth Mike, early this morning coming over the bridge. The calmness is a nice change out here. Let's see what it's like when we get up, or when we get down towards the La Playa. That's where, for some reason, I would smell the red tide. It was a little stronger down there. Between like the Turtle Club and the La Playa, I don't know what causes that, but that's where I just always seem to notice it the most. But see, this is like, I've seen just a few dead fish on the beach. And like I said, they've all been higher up on the beach. I really haven't noticed any down here close to the water yet. I haven't been looking in the water closely to see what's floating about. That's when the tide turns that they'll be coming in if there's dead fish out there. Right now it's still creeping out. Later today. Check back later. I'm going to share a link to a PBS special on red tide. A little documentary that they did several years ago after we had our horrible bout in 2018. 2018 was a bad year for red tide in Southwest Florida. I have many videos documenting it, many beach walks during that red tide outbreak. Just get on YouTube and start looking for my videos from, July, August 2018. It was relentless. That red tide was at Del Norwiggins Pass State Park. That's when our current park manager, Ranger T. Terrence, first came on board with Del Norwiggins, transferred from Fakahatchee State Park. That was his welcome and initiation, picking up dead fish every single day off the beach at the park. I'll never forget that. He was the first one out there too. He was out there before the rest of the Rangers were out there with a grabber and buckets, just filling them up with dead fish after dead fish. Great park manager, Terrence. Someday we'll be back in there, I hope. I hope I'm still around when the park reopens. Hope I can still afford to live here. That's becoming a problem. Living in Naples. Getting absolutely absurd. I'm not here to talk about tourism. I do like living here, but there are some things that could use some, good morning, it could definitely use some improvement. See, I get up here and I can smell the fish. This is where our high tide line was. Yep, and you can see them. They're still up here. You can still see the fish decomposing up here on this high tide line. That's where the smell is coming from. They're just kind of getting shoved around by the rake. Like I said earlier, it's nothing like it was last week. This morning, for me, it's tolerable. I could come out and sit at the beach right now. Maybe if you got asthma or something like that, probably a different story. But for me, it's tolerable. No coughing yet. We're getting into that spot, though, where it always get me. Let's see what happens. That sand is soft when it freshly breaks sand up there. My shoes are full of sand. Sinking right down in it. Going over the tops of my shoes. Still got a bit of time left here in this live feed. We'll probably make it down to the Ritz in this live feed. And we'll turn around, head back up the beach, get a better look at things as the sun comes up. It's nice having you on here though with me. Thanks for hanging out with me in the mornings. Thanks for being a friend. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for caring. Sharing and caring. I can still see debris out here in the water. That's not going away. That hurricane debris, pieces of just wood, plastic, all kinds of junk out here. Coming and going with the tides. They're working on getting the cars out of the water. The other day there was 63 cars still in the water that they got to pull out from the hurricane. They're working down in Moorings Bay. Quite a job pulling them out, setting them on barges. Gosh, another horseshoe crab. Sad. What's with the horseshoe crabs all of a sudden? Why are they turning up dead on the beach? Is that red tide getting all the way down to the bottom? Because they're bottom feeders. Scavengers. It's a smaller one. Hey, send some stars on Facebook if you're enjoying our time together, our walk here. Morning. I don't know where Mike is. Should be passing him by soon, get a report from what's going on down to the south. I don't know how far down he walks. So yesterday I was just kind of hanging out at the home office and sharing some older videos from days gone by, beach walks gone by, and little things that I've seen over the years. Some fun stuff. That one where you see me holding those live sand dollars in my hand. Yes, we don't take anything that's alive from the beach. But that was a good walk. That was along the sandbar. Saw all kinds of neat things. That's actually the first dead fish that I've seen up close by the water here this morning, right there. Catfish. But, oh no, what is it? That's the first. And down by the La Playa, darn it. See, this is where I said I would always start coughing. If I was having a good morning, I'd cough when I got down here south of La Playa. That was it. That was the only one I noticed. I'm not saying there's none out here, but that's the only one I noticed. It jumped out at me between the rake line here and the water line. But anyway, as I was saying, some of those videos are kind of cool. The train museum. If you got grandkids that come to town, take them to see the Lionel trains. Take them for a little ride, the miniature train ride. That's down at the Naples Depot, down by Tin City, across from Tin City. Great place to take the kids. There you go, another fish there on the beach. Still not bad, my friends. Could be much worse. A lot of people don't even know about that Lionel train exhibit in the back of the depot. And there's some interesting history inside the museum, inside the old station. Think about that, the old days. The train's coming right to downtown Naples there. Share that video. Spread the word about I'd love to help those guys out. Just a bunch of old timers playing with their choo-choos, having fun. Great bunch of guys. If you like trains, trains aren't a big thing here down in Florida. Trains are more of a northern thing, but it's a fun little club to join. There's all kinds of little hidden gems, hidden treasures around Naples, just things to do that are off the beaten path, little smaller things that don't have those big budgets to advertise. We all know about the zoo and we know about the botanical gardens. There's other little things to check out around here. The Collier Museum. I don't even know where they moved that to. That's an interesting little museum. I don't know where they moved that to. Used to be down by the courthouse, in the courthouse area. That was the history of Collier. Very interesting. Koreshan State Park up in Estero. If you have not gone to that state park, I highly recommend you take a visit and go on one of the tours. Good morning. How are you doing today, Billy? Thank you, Billy. That you go on a guided tour to really learn the history of that group of people. Pretty darn interesting, to say the least, to put it mildly. Kind of strange. Koreshan State Park. All of our, we got so many incredible Florida state parks. From the Springs to the Atlantic Ocean to the Gulf of Mexico. Lakes and rivers, forests. Very, very diverse. Our Florida state parks. Some offer camping, some don't. Camping in a Florida state park will not break the bank. A lot of people travel, stay at state parks with their campers. Probably some of the most affordable places to stay right now, especially I know in Florida for camping. The only Florida state park here in Collier County that you can camp at that I'm trying to think if there's anything out. I think the only one is Collier Seminole State Park. That's out on the East Trail, just out by State Road 92, which is The east entrance to Marco Island takes you down to Goodlet, way out on the East Trail. Collier Seminole has a campground. Then Gresham has a nice campground. Gresham's a little more crowded than Collier Seminole State Park. But we have camped out at both of them, just for little weekend getaways, just to do something different. Still not seeing much in the way of dead fish on the beach close to the water. Like I said, a little higher up on the beach. Haven't smelled the red tide. Keeping my fingers crossed. Haven't smelled the red tide yet this morning. The wind is going to shift later this afternoon. Clouds are going to roll in starting around 2. Get partly cloudy skies, and that's when that wind's going to start turning, coming more out of the west. Hopefully it doesn't blow the red tide in on us again. Hey, we had a little rain last night. Spotty rain. Man, do we need rain here. Very, very dry. Some brush fires are starting to spark now. Not good. We need a couple gully washers. That red tide, that algae doesn't like that fresh rainwater either. That helps just kill it. But the water's warming up, and that red tide likes the warm water. Can't believe that water's up to 78 already. Supposed to have a little cool front. It's a front coming through tomorrow, I think. Cool things down a little bit. Might be in the low 60s in the morning. Nice. Nothing drastic. People getting snow. See another snow moving across. Ugh. Can't believe it. Such extremes, the weather. Such extremes. Oh well. What do you say? We'll look up to the north towards the La Playa there. I don't hear any commotion coming out of Gulf Point over on my left here. Sounds quiet over there still. We're getting down to the end of, towards the end of Vanderbilt Beach here. Down towards the Ritz. I'm guessing there should be a few more people hanging out at the beach today. Call it no smell morning. It's a no smell morning. Hey, hit that share button. We got a little while longer to go here for this live feed. Stars, if you're liking what you're seeing here, if you're appreciating my efforts, send some stars on Facebook. I get a penny for each star. Of course, tips are hugely appreciated. When you do a tip, more of that money goes to me than if you were to purchase stars on Facebook. But Facebook's got to make some money too. They're the ones that provide this technology for us. Even though I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to keep my mouth shut about Facebook. Sometimes it's hard. You know what you need to do is, if you want to see some fun things from days gone by here over the years, go ahead and get on Southwest Florida's YouTube channel and go into the videos, click on the video tab, and then sort by most popular. And that'll kind of bring the good stuff up to the top and work your way down. Now, of course, the newer stuff isn't as popular as the older stuff, because it's, when they say popular, they mean by most views. So the longer it's been there, the more views it gets. But if you want to watch something other than television, check out some of my older videos. They go back a ways. Southwest Florida Television on YouTube. So, we're down by the Vanderbilt Beach Resort and Turtle Club Restaurant. Again, the resort is open, the restaurant is closed. The restaurant's closed until they're hoping to open sometime in the fall. Let's hope they hit their mark. Here's the Turtle Club and Vanderbilt Beach Resort there under the palms. They got their beach chairs set up. Beach chairs and umbrellas. Here's the old Ritz-Carlton over here on the left. Still fairly quiet here. I think that's going to change. Like I said, right now it's a no-smell Thursday morning. A couple of fish along here. A few more dead fish on the beach down here. Barely any up towards the north end, along by the water. It's kind of steep here, hard for that rake to get around. Looks like he tried to make a pass down here below that ledge. All right, that's gonna do it for this, for number one, for live feed number one. I'll be back a little bit later for live feed number two for my walk back up the beach. So stay tuned for that.
You're not telling people to rig back a little bit, are you?
I'm telling them it's all gone.
We gotta keep off the beach.
It's amazing though how it changes. Wait till the wind turns. Isn't that crazy? Yep. Job security. Talking about blowing the sand off the streets up here at the entrance to the beach. Definitely job security. It just tech blower, the sound just spoiled everybody's morning out here, but it is what it is. All right. Another hour or so, there's going to be more people out here for sure. I can feel it in my bones. All right, I'm going to wrap this live feed up. Hopefully I'll see you a little bit later for part number two for my walk back up the beach. If I don't, have an awesome Thursday. Thanks for hanging out with me. Those of you that sent a couple stars this morning, thank you. I appreciate it. The red tide's been kind of killing my stars here. I'm missing some days out here. Remember, tips usually appreciated, always appreciated. If you want to see a little more of your money go to me rather than Facebook when you purchase them stars, thank you. You can find a link to my PayPal account in the description of this post. You can also find me on Venmo and Apple Pay. Every dollar counts, my friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I said, hopefully I'll see you later. But until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay strong. Tally ho, everyone, tally ho. For Southwest Florida Television, I'm Robb. God bless.